Well, let's continue and talk about the communicators. Now, this is possibly uh, equal to the word philosophy because we're dealing with our thinking ability, looking at it not only in the present, but how it changes in a lifetime and will continue to change if we were continuing to live as we will, but not as the individual we are for this short original period wherever we start with the person. I feel that when you die, that just means your body is worn out and you need a new one. And you do get it because births continue to increase. Sometimes they decrease, but due to outside conditions or even the choice of a group of people. So the attitudes we have, well, let's continue with the living and dying. So you will see life continue. Every generation's followed by another. How do you explain that? The religious thinking that you die and then you go somewhere else and you're taken care of. Well, then how do you explain the new generation, one after another, after another, after another? It can only be that the same spirit that makes life is replaced, regenerated. And you do notice in generations, we even get a little smarter. Not on all things, but in general, we do, even though we make a heck of a lot of mistakes, tragically, politically, and individually. But what does this have to do with the communicators? Well, think of yourself when you were 20 and perchance when you're 80. You sure have accumulated a lot of experiences and you see things in a wider concept, or you should, and will react that way. Not that you weren't inspired, possibly if in youth, because we all are. But I want to tell you something. Years ago, when I wrote music and was studying composition, I would jokingly spend the first hour writing notes. I'd spend the second hour racing those notes. Then third hour, you get down to business. Then it starts getting good. So something about youth, it flies in all directions properly, but to tie it all together, age seems to help. Although genius is a genius wherever you find them, and you do find them, and surprising places. But what does all this have to do with the communicators? All right, our mind then from 20 to 80, what about to 180 and 5,080 and beyond that? You just know our thinking ability is going to have more involved, more subjects, deeper subjects, all together, because a lot of things will become almost automatic, as reactions are in us right now in a lot of areas. So we're talking about our brain's possibilities moving deeper and more specific and better. It's got to be better and enlarged, if you want to use physical terms which don't fit. It's just more intense and more accurate in our thinking. So the communicators are there to help us, or are doing this to improve our brain. So I just give them that name. But I kind of think there are some personalities involved that guide us, every one of us. And you have your own, and maybe we are sharing the same ones. That will all come out in later philosophers, a good subject. But our mind is going to become more compact, and possibly you've seen pictures and drawings of physically getting larger heads. I think that's a possibility, because matter is, since the turmoil of its original years making our universe, when it was all fire and flame, and just about what I would say the bions, which are like atoms, were fighting each other, and no control was shown until a little began, and that began the calming of the universe from a terrible condition to the now smoother, logical state where we can calculate a few things are going to be the same over a period of time, but we can't calculate everything, and some things will be different. So the communicators again become the improvement in our brain, and you can't put definitions of what's going to happen. We'll just get smarter, explain smarter. Well, more facts, clearer vision, an affinity to what you're studying, that helps, and a love of life that will all help. The communicators become the vague guidance that philosophers will find helping them if the philosophers think accurately and control their own thoughts, and only put them on solid grounds that are true and that have possibilities in the future, not vague imaginations or beliefs, but we want to have a solid beginning, and then wonderful things will follow.